Hello, you are watching Tulipswift. Today I'm talking to you about The Moon and More by Sarah Dessen. I finished it last night. I've been talking about it all day. Non-spoiler portion. This is not Sarah Dessen's best book. I think Dreamland's better. I think Along for the Ride is way better. In this book, a girl named Emmeline, who's 18, getting ready to go to college, has a rocky relationship with her father, and she lives with her mother and her stepdad in a very small town that attracts a lot of tourists. She has a boyfriend named Luke, who they've been going out for a really long time now, like 3 years or something like that. Luke seems perfect in every way. A New Yorker named Theo comes into town and he throws a whole new perspective on Emmeline's life and anything she thinks that she knows. I didn't think this book was that good. I think it was too long. This book really couldn't decide what it was about. It went to too many topics. The writing was so good and it was so entertaining. 3 stars, but there wasn't really a point. I just kept waiting for like a big explanation, but it was never there. I'm about to talk about some things that will spoil the rest of it. So Emmeline was kind of like every Sarah Dessen character from the beginning, and I was like, okay, whatever. I can deal with her. And I really liked her relationship with her stepsisters, her dad, and the difference between dad and father. Right off the bat, Luke was too good to be true. I knew that this boyfriend is not going to be the boyfriend she ends up with. Luke cheats on her, and she doesn't seem too upset about it. She kind of is looking towards Theo, the new guy in her future. She kind of just lets Luke go, and Luke apologizes, and Luke wants to rekindle the relationship. She doesn't agree. I really liked Luke, but this early on, I was like expecting Theo to be like Prince Charming, and that's not what happened. So anyways, she broke up with Luke. That afternoon, she kisses Theo when they're in the store getting a toaster. It's the toaster story. Theo works for Ivy. Then we start talking about her dad. Bailed out after he said he'd pay for her college. Now they don't talk anymore. She isn't even that upset that she's not going to this huge school. She starts to become romantically involved with Theo. And Theo was so annoying. He kept doing all these like really, really awkward things. It made it really uncomfortable. But they had their moments where she seemed like she was in love with him, and they're gonna end up being in love. It's gonna be perfect. Like, I had no doubt in my mind. Her dad's son, Benji, she's literally Adam's younger brother in Shatter Me. Like so many other little boys, like Cassie's younger brother in The Fifth Wave. Like, this kid is so unoriginal, but he was pretty good. And I love how, like, Luke, she describes Luke, she's like, oh, my boyfriend gets along with, like, all the kids and puppies of the world. She's starting to fight with her mom, with her friend Daisy, and she's even fighting with Theo. And so at this point, like, everyone's telling her different things. She's having a hard time, and then she's fighting with her father. But I really liked Emmeline throughout this. She really trusted herself. Her conclusions were very sane and thought through, and she took everyone's point of view. Then we have Emmeline and Ivy towards the end, which I didn't see that coming. I didn't see Ivy as being that of an important character. So I really like that part, and she works for her. She sees Ivy's point of view. They're a really good team, and she ends up getting hired for the future. So I think that was a great ending on that section of the story. Oh my gosh, Benji goes missing. Of course, Emmeline knows where he is. Luke just like pulled over when he saw that Emmeline was in distress. So that was crazy awesome. At this point, I didn't understand what the deal with Theo was at all, because we spent so much of the book working on Theo and their relationship, and I thought that was like going somewhere, but it didn't go anywhere. There was like no point to that, okay? And so we're getting near the end. I was like, okay, she's going to college. I was like, Luke or Theo? Like, obviously I wanted it to be Luke, but I was just curious what would happen, and she's not even with either of them. Folks, I was like really under the impression that she was gonna end up with one of the guys. That never happened. It just kind of ended. She went to college. There wasn't like a big picture in this book, and especially because we didn't get a man at the end after there was so much, like 50% of the book was just like about her love life, and that wasn't even resolved, which I don't like. As you can see, I don't have an ending to this video. I don't exactly know what happened. But anyways, final thoughts on the book. I think I stand by. She should have come to a conclusion about Luke and Theo. I didn't feel like there was any closure with that. I think if the whole book kind of was her path before college, then it would have felt like an ending. I hope you like this video. This book was recommended to me by QueenAurora'sBooks. So this is just an example. If you have like a favorite book you want to like talk about, I would love to read whatever book like you guys want me to read. As long as it's not 50 Shades of Grey, just like leave me a comment, hit me up on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really want to review more books in the future. I love you so much. Bye!